Right. Hello and good afternoon, everyone. So thank you again for joining our free online lesson. My name is Nabi Fikri, an application engineer from CAD Systems. So for today's free online lessons, I would like to share you about the AutoCAD extracting information. Right. So basically, if you have a sketch or maybe a block with attributes and you want to export it out as a table, right? So you can do that inside of the AutoCAD. But before we go with our free analysis, so I would like to share you a bit about our website. Right. So let's say if you want to visit us, so you can go to any web browser and then you can just type in categorizes.com. So this will be our site. So once we press enter, so automatically it will bring you to our main landing page. So from our website here, you can see our phone number. So if you would like to contact us, you can also do that from here. So other ways for you to contact us, you can also live chat with us. So if you take a look at the icon down here, so you can click over here, then you can live chat with our available team member over here. Right. So other than that, other things that you can find from our main landing page from here. So if you scroll down, so we have latest Autodesk promotion and news. So if you want to take a look, so you can just click at the link and we scroll down a bit some more. We also have our weekly event, which is our free analysis that you can join directly from the windows down here. So other things that you can find from our website is that our help desk systems. So let's say if you would like to request a support from our team, so you can go to the help desk. And you can click at the AutoCAD system help desk. And then from here, you can click AutoCAD as a guest, right? For example, if you have problem with AutoCAD, or maybe you would like to ask to install AutoCAD for you, or maybe your AutoCAD crash or some things, or maybe just some questions about other types of software. So you can also do that directly from here. Just fill in your informations. And once you have submit, our available team member will assist you. Right, so that is a little bit on our website. Right, so let's go back to our main topic for today's. Right, so AutoCAD extract information. So this is basically what we're going to take a look today. So first of all, let's say you have an information created using a block attribute. So we're going to take a look first at adding a block attribute, and we want to extract that attribute, right, using the extract data. Right, and then extract data. So you also would like to configure the tables, so you can also edit the tables directly inside of data extraction here. And then you can also see the link between the information inside of the AutoCAD itself and also the table. Lastly, we're just going to redo that extract data using the extract coding. Right, so let me show you examples on how to use the data extractions. So first of all, what I have here is a sample files. And what I would like to do here is that I would like to extract information which is from the block that I have from here. So if I click this block here, I actually have a data from here, the attribute data that I would like to export into data extractions. So for example, if you don't know what attribute is, for example, you can create your own type of block, then you can add an attribute, right? For example, let's say if I would like to add another dining set over here. So when I click, so I'm able to enter the information about this dining set. Right? So maybe this one is actually created from a pine wood, for example, and maybe have a different purchase value. So this is type of information that you can create and it will automatically add it inside of your block. So how do we add this, right? So for example, if you already know how to create a block and now you would like to add a attribute, right? So for example, one of the block that I have here does not include attribute yet. Maybe I would like to add another computer. So I go over here and I find the computer block that I have. Let's see here, right? So when I click and I drop here, so nothing actually happens, unlike this wooden dining set table here. So I would like to add several information inside here. So how to do that? So I can use the block editor, and I can select the block that I would like to input. So I press OK. And then from here, I can add a attribute definition. Right, so maybe I would like to put the block name for this computer. So I'm going to put a block name. So if you don't know what the tag is what you will see inside of your editor. The prompt is the questions that will appear once we input the block into our sketch, right? So the prompt here will be the questions. Let's say I'm going to put question here is item type, for example. And the default will be the answer, right? So I can put the answer from here. Maybe I put it electronic as a default. I can also leave it empty. So once I input, so I will require to put the value inside it. Right, so that is some of the things. So I also have other type of settings. Maybe I would like to have my text shown, so I can tick at the invisibility here. But maybe I want this to show, so I can just leave it off. I can also change my text settings. So I'm going to leave it default 6. So I can press OK, and I can click from here. So right now my text is actually quite small, so I needed to do the editing on the text size. So other ways for you to edit is that you can just go to the properties. Then you can just directly change the text size from here. So let me just make it slightly larger. Let's say around 60. So that is my first block. And let's say I would like to add another type of information here. For example, let's say cost. Right? And the cost here, I don't want to show it inside of my sketch. So I'm going to leave it as invisible. Right? So I can put a tag here, it's cost. And from here, the default here can just leave it empty as well. I can press OK, and I can put it right here. Right? So this one also I need to edit the size. Right? So I forgot to do that before. So we just edit directly. Right, so let's say that is the two things that I would like to show. So the one will be visible and the other one will be invisible. So once I've done, so I can close the block, I can hit save, change. Now when I put the new computer, right, so it will only apply on the new block that you enter. So if you take a look here, so this is actually no attribute yet. So I can go ahead and add the computer here, and then it will pop up the questions. So the item type, so this will be computer. And then the input value, right, so this one will be the pricing lah. Right, so I should have put the price here instead, but never mind. So I'm just gonna put it 3,000, for example. Right, so I can press OK, and it will put the computer here. But obviously I need to do the rest, but for now I'm just going to leave it as this. So I have my attribute on my block, and I would like to extract this type of data. So to do that, I can go to Insert, and I can go to the linking and extraction panels, and I can select Extract Data. So once I select here, so for the data extraction here, so the first thing that you will see here is the creating the data for the extractions. So if I already have an existing one, I can click here and I can open up the existing one. But this one will be a new file that I want to create. So I can just click create new data extractions. If you have a previous extraction, I can also click here. But for now, I'm just going to leave it as a new file. And when I click next, then it will pop out a notification for you to create the DXE file. So I'm going to set that on the folder that I would like to be, say around here, and I'm going to put this as a furniture, right? So the block attribute that I have here is actually furniture, information that I would like to bring. So I'm going to name this one as a furniture. Right. So I can hit save. And now once I hit save, so I have the data source from here. Now, so the data source is where I can pick what information that I would like to bring from my sketch here. So if I select drawing sheet set, this one will bring the entire drawing from my sketch right here. If I have a layout, I can also include current drawing. If not, I don't want to bring it from the layout, I can just leave it unchecked. For now, I'm just going to leave it checked. But let's say if I have only a specific area, maybe I would like to have this area only. So for that case, I can select object in the current drawing. And then from here, I can select the window button and I can specify the area that I want. Maybe I only want the top side. I'm going to press OK. So it will only bring that, right? But for now, I'm just going to set it as drawing or current sheets. So other things that I can add from here is that I can add drawings. So if I have other drawing file that I would like to add the information here, I can add the drawing, or I can also add from a folder. So it will search that folder. So all of the drawing inside a folder it will bring it inside of this data. But for now, I'm just going to leave it as only my current drawing from here. And I can go ahead and click next. Now I have several types of information that I can find from here. So most of this will be my block, which is a furniture such as computer, chair, dining that I would like to export out the data informations. So other things that I don't want, I can uncheck from here. Maybe I don't want to see the text, or I don't want to extract the text. I don't want to extract, let's say, a title block. Right, so you can also see the preview from here. So if I have a computer, so it will show the preview of the computer. So I don't need the circles, the arc, I don't need this. We just select the things that I don't need. So other ways for you to display here, right? So sometimes you will have a lot of data which is shown here. So other easy way for you to filter out is that you can go to the display option from here. So the first one is that I would like to display all object, or maybe I only want to display a block only. So for this case, I can untick, and I can select display block only. Or maybe I don't want a block. I would like to have a sketch, something like a line, circles, and so on. So I can select at the display non-block. So only non-block that will be bring. But for this case, maybe I only want a block only. I can set it display block only. So all of the circles, lines that shown before the text, so it will not be shown from here. Right. So other things that I can see here is that I can select block with an attribute. Right. So certain block that I have here have an attribute such as the computer that I have added, or the dining set here. So if I would like to only see that, I can select the block attribute only. But for this case, I would like to bring everything also with the block without having attributes. So I can just leave it unchecked. So all of the block will bring here, whether you have attribute or not. And then other things that we have from here is the object currently in use. So for example, if you have a block which is not used inside of the drawing, then you can bring it by checking this one, right? So maybe that block is not used yet, but you like to count it as well. So you can just give it a check. For this case, I also don't want to see unrelated block, which is not on my drawing here. So I'm just going to leave it unchecked. I can press next, and we have several other type of data that we can filter out. So more easily is that I can select the category filter here. Right, so the first one is obviously not going to be used, which is the 3D visualization. So I'm going to untick this one. So we have several more options that we can remove. So I don't need to see the geometry. Right, so maybe I don't want to see a miscellaneous. Let me see. Right, and other things. Maybe I want to see. Right, so maybe I don't want to see the miscellaneous. Right, so I can just filter out. So the things that I also can uncheck from here, I also don't want to see the hyperlink. So I can just go over here and uncheck everything from here. So I believe this one is part of the drawing. So let me just uncheck the drawing. So basically I should have, yeah, I don't see the material. Okay, so let me just check it manually from here. So I don't need to see the editing times. But if you would like to edit it later on, so you can always go back and you can edit later on. So for now, I'm just going to go with next. Now it pop up the some of the notification. For this case, I think I can just press OK. So the reason why this pop up is because some block I have with different scale types, right? So some blocks have different scale, so it will pop up this one. But for this case, I'm just going to press OK. And this will be the list of information that I can bring. So from here, this will be the informations. So if you don't want to see some of this, so you can just uncheck, for example, the color here, right? So I can just right click and I can remove this color, right? So I can hide it, or I can also go back and remove that. So such as comment, I don't want to see the comment. Right? So I don't want to see drawing revision number. I don't want to see the keywords. And I have the file name, file size, which is, if I scroll, it should be the same with everything else. So I don't want to bring that as well. So I can just go ahead and untick those that are not related. I can go ahead. Okay. And then from here, okay, right. So from here, so again, I can just go ahead and hide from here. So if I would like to unhide it, is that I can right click and I can select show hidden column. So this one is the list of the item that I already hide. So if not, I can just bring it back by clicking back. So it will bring back that information. For this case, I'm just going to hide some of these unrequired. So once done, so I can take a look at several other things. So over here, it will allow you to automatically calculate how many same item that you have. For example, if I have a block, example, a computer. So I have a computer, two block of computer. Right. So since it is actually the same thing, so it will combine and become two. So if I don't want that, I can untick this one. So it will become separate count, right? So for example, let's say if I have computer one, right? So chair here, I actually have three, right? But it's actually divided into three sections instead. But if I want to combine, so I can just click combine, so it will automatically calculate. So I believe the rectangle here will not make much sense. So let's see if I can check the rectangle. Let's see it. So maybe the rectangle is part of the block. So I'm just going to leave it as this. So before we proceed further, you can also click for preview the table that you see. Right, so you can also click up here. So once done, I can just press next. And from here, I can select what type of informations, how I would like to see that information to be extracted. So I have two options. One is that I would like to create a tables inside of my drawing. Other ways, I can also add an external file, which is I can export it out as a Excel file. Right? So I can select Excels, maybe MD files, TXT files, and so on. So for this case, I'm want both. And the file tab here, I'm just going to select the locations and I'm going to select directly from here. So file tab, so if I want it to be text, I can select text, but if I want to Excel, I can just select XLS, which is Excel file. So let me just hover to the locations that I want to bring. So I'm just going to name this one as a furniture. Right, so okay, next, and now it will bring a table style that you can edit. So from here, you can put the title for this table. So this one will be, again, furniture table. And I can specify the type of table that I want to see. So if I want to be more details for my table, so I can select and edit the table style instead. I can select from here, and then from here, I have the default one is standard. So if I want to create new, so I can just create new. So I'm gonna name this one as a new standard. And then directly from here, I can specify what type of information, what type of table that I would like to edit. So primary is set to the top. So I want to start with titles. So I select the titles. And from here, I can change the titles, maybe make it slightly larger. See, 8 height for the titles. I would like the titles to be color green, for example. So I can go to the general from here. Maybe I would like to fill in the color. Right, so several things that I can just pick from here. Right, I can set up the margins. I can also set up the border. Right, so maybe make it slightly thicker for the border here. Right, so that is for the titles. Same again with the header and the data. I can just go over here and change. Maybe I want to make the header slightly different color. This is red, for example, or maybe magenta, so that I can see it much more clear. So that is some of the things that you can edit from the table. So I'm just going to go ahead and press OK. And I'm going to close. So this will be my tables that will appear once I'm done. Then I can press next. Then I can select finish, and it will pop out and allow you to put the table. So the table is quite small. So for this case, I'm just going to scale it up. Media scale, make it slightly larger. So this will be the tables, which is the data that I've extracted from the block here. Right? So this is some of the things that I can extract. And the good thing about this is that it's also allowed to automatically update. So for example, if I have a, let's say, toilet top here, which is this one. So currently I have only one. So I want to add a second one. So I'm going to go ahead and add another toilet bowl. Let me see if I can find from here, right? So let's say I'm just going to put it right over here. Maybe I put some more. So currently we have 3. So if I take a look over here, where is so the toilet bowl is still 1. So to update it, so I can just go ahead and right click, and then I can select update table data link. So it will automatically update. And if I take a look back here, so now it's updated and become 3. Right, so you have some link over here. And again, it's also extract as an Excel file. So if I would like to take a look back at the Excel file, so I can find back the information. Right, so this will be the file that I have saved. So if I take a look over here, then you will see that the file is automatically created from here. Now, again, so, but for this case, the Excel file and the table itself is not linked together. So if I would like to have it linked, so what I can do is that, for example, I'm going to use a new file. So let's say I want to link that. So I can select table. And then from here, I can select from data link. And I can select from the Excel file. Right, so I can select from here. I'm going to select from the Excel file. And I'm going to name this one as a link one. And then this one will allow me to bring the Excel file. Right? So let's say I would like to bring this one. And then from here, I can specify the area that I would like to bring. So for example, if I take a look here, so the preview here, so let's say I have the name here is MSA counts, the name items, and I only want to bring from here up until, let's say 10, right? So up until the layer, right? So what I can do is that from the AutoCAD itself, so instead of I link the entire sheet, I can specify link between range. So this will be an example. So from the start, so that will be A1, right, which is here. So if I take a look, this one is A1. And from the 10 here up until F, so that will be F10. So I can put A1 until F10. So A1, A1, and column is F. So if I want to preview, I can select preview. So it will preview only that particular area. I can press OK. So if I want to, I can also bring everything, but in this case, I just leave it only certain area. Now to have it linked together, for example, if I would like to save this, so what I can do is that I can just edit. So to edit your file, so you can just click, and then you will see that there are indicator icon lock here, which means that I cannot edit. So to edit it is that you can just select any of the column, and then you can go to this cell format, and then you can unlock from here, and then here I can just edit the value, right? So maybe I'm going to edit, remove, let's say I'm going to name as F count. Now to bring this back to the Excel file, so what I can do is that I can right click and I can select, oops, I can right click and I can select, oops, for some reason it does not. Okay, I can right click and I can select write data link to external source. So it will write back to the Excel files, and once done, it will pop out notifications, and when I open up my Excel files, so the Excel file will be automatically updated. But for now, I have an indicator, so it cannot be written. So probably I need to close this one first. Let me just close. So I try again. If I can write again. So now the data has been changed. So if I open up again from here, so just quick preview, you can find from here. So now it's changed the name to FCount. So that is how you link between these two. Right. So again, from the Excel, I can also edit and save, and it will automatically update it inside the drawing. Right. So that is some example on how you can do with the data extractions. So we have test with the block attribute. Let's say if I have a area like this, and what I would like to do is that I would like to bring other type of information, which is not a block, but I would like to bring a coordinate from each of these tags here. So I would like to bring that coordinate. Again, I can do the same things. So I can go to the insert panels, you can select extract data, and then from here I can select, okay, so for this case I also need to create a new one, but if I would like to bring the old, I can go ahead and select existing data. If I select the furniture here, then you will see the same setting that we have will be imported inside here. If I go next, then you will see, so we have the previous information such as computer, door, and so on. But for this case, it does not make sense because we want to have different table, which is for coordinate. So I'm going to create new. And from here, I'm just going to select this area only because I don't want to bring coordinate from the other sketch here, right? So I'm selecting that particular drawing. So next, and for this case, I only want to bring from the text here, which is 2B, 10B, 12B, and so on. So I'm just going to bring the text. So I'm going to hit next. Again, so I just want to bring a geometry. So let me just uncheck things. So it will only bring me the position of X, Y, and Z. So the Z will be flat. So I want to remove this one as well. Then I can put next, and then I have this type of information. For this case, each of the text will be only one, so I don't want to bring the count here. I'm going to uncheck the count. So I only bring name. So again, the name is actually quite generic, so it's only bring the text here. So I don't want the text as a name. But what I would like here is that I would like to show me the 10B, the 12B, the 3B, and so on. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to input that type of information. So that type of information should be called value. So let me just search back if I can see it on the drawing. Is it on the drawing? Values is not here. Text. Right, so it should be under text. Again, I don't need the height. So I'm gonna uncheck those which is not required. So I only want to bring the value. So I have the value. And other things is that I will also like to bring the color that I have over here since it's different color. So I want to bring that color as well. So under general will be colors. I'm gonna uncheck again everything. So this is the information that I want. And I would like to also indicate that the value is front. So I can just bring it in front. So I have this type of information for. So again, I can hit next. Maybe for this case, I only want to bring it inside my my AutoCAD sketch only. So I'm just going to leave it as tables, data, next, and I can press next and finish. And if I click here, then you will see the position is now has been created. So if you find yourself need to edit again, you can just edit it from here. And then you need to unlock cells, and then I can change. Right. This one, I'll name this one as a coordinate. So that is how you can bring information from the AutoCAD and export it as a tables or also Excel file. So that is basically all that I'd like to share with you. So thank you again for joining. So thank you everyone. So I hope I can see you guys again on our next few lessons. So have a nice day and bye-bye.